Buongiorno and welcome to my channel. My name is Stefania if you're new here. So today we are just going to be playing around a little bit more with the Jeffree Star and Shane Dawson collab, the Conspiracy palette. I always like to do multiple looks when I buy a palette, so we are going to just do some looks today, hang out. So grab your makeup, get ready with me, and hopefully you guys find this useful. Please don't forget to subscribe before we get started. I would really appreciate it. And just to mention, the giveaway is still open for the mini controversy palette, so enter on my last video if you have not seen that, but that is open till Friday. And I'll make sure I do a live video on Friday, not a live video, but like announce it on Friday and do the whole process, because I always feel like, I don't know, I don't trust them. Like, I'm just like, our giveaway's real? But I want you guys to actually see that, like, yes, someone wins. So make sure you do that. And without further ado, let's jump into this video. Hydration is important. I meant to record this eye, but I was just apparently talking to myself because I forgot to record my audio. Yay! So we are going to take my Pills, which is the lightest pink shade right here. And even though it's like barely anything, I just kind of want to see how it will work, and I did it to this eye, so I might as well do it to this one. I feel like on lighter skin tones, this will show up a lot better. On mine, it doesn't do a lot. Like, you can see the tiniest wash of color, but it's not going to show up on everyone, you know what I mean? Which is okay, but just in case you were wondering. Have you guys got a chance to play with your palettes? Are you guys waiting for them? Like, I want to know what you guys think. The only thing I find awkward is, like, when I'm saying the shade names, I'm like, dip my Pills into Diet Root Beer, and then with some Flaming Hot, with, like, it's so weird to, like, say the shade names out loud. I don't know if I'm the only one who thinks about that, because I'm saying them. I'm sure most of you guys aren't actually sitting there at home, like, putting them in that lineup. But all right, next we're gonna pick up Pigment right there, which is the other pink shade. But yeah, I've been surprised though by, like, the amount of YouTubers that ended up, like, getting this palette. Like, not, like, obviously I knew it was going to be a big palette, but, like, I generally buy all of Jeffree Star's palettes, and I was like, whoa. Like, I feel like a lot of people, what is your problem, sir? I'm like an old person. I'm going to stand out there with the hose and tell people to slow down. Or a stick. It's not just, it's motorcycles, mostly kids on motorcycles is what I'm talking about. I wouldn't actually do that. Calm down. But, yeah. Anyways, I was just surprised in general, and most of them are like, yeah, I've never tried Jeffree Star, but, like, Shane Dawson, like, I think it brings in, like, a whole new audience of people trying Jeffree Star's products. All right, next we're going to dip into Flaming Hot, which it looks very red in the pan on me. It doesn't come off red. It's more of like a pinky red, so just keep that in mind. I'm not sure exactly why. I do use my Anastasia primer underneath, but yeah, I think if you really pack it, but it's still like a strawberry red type shade. How was your guys' weekend? We unfortunately had a funeral to go to, so it wasn't like I had time to play with makeup. I was trying to get this out earlier because, you know, like the frenzy of, like, trying to get YouTube videos up, but it just, you know, my family was more important to me than trying to do this. So kind of a sad weekend, but it was still good. We really got into Apple TV, which they did a good job of just releasing, like, 3 shows, like 3 episodes per show. That way you were, like, hooked and, like, felt like you had to watch it. Like, you have to buy the app, because they were all, like, hits. Like, they were all really good shows. So next I'm going to dip in with my Pills. I'm really excited for the second look. I'm definitely going to use What's the Tea, but I always find it useful to find a few tutorials, and, like, I want to use the palette more too, so I figure why not film these? But it gives me a better idea of the palette rather than, like, just putting it in a drawer right after I review something. Like, I can't stand that, you know? I don't have the money for that. Like this Apple TV, I was like, $5 for an app? Another app? How many apps do we need? Like, I am app challenged, okay? I hate apps. My husband goes on my phone and downloads them, and I'm like, what are you doing? But at least it's only $4.99. And in my head, I was like, okay, it's the price of a coffee, you know? But I'm going to get it wet. You can definitely see a difference between dry and wet in terms of intensity. It's still super intense, but there's definitely a difference. But yeah, I was like, price of a coffee, I can give that up, even though I don't buy coffee. It's just my way of telling myself I can spend money on something That's how I buy makeup. I buy makeup and workout clothes and that's it. All right, so once that's packed on, I'm gonna grab a little bit of spiraling. I just pick it up on the other side of my brush. And then in the center between, like, to meld the two together, I'm gonna grab a tiny bit of sleep paralysis. Okay, and then the outer edge, I'm gonna grab just a little bit of my Rides here, which is the dark black. I don't use black a lot other than to tightline. I'm not someone who loves to use black as an eyeshadow. I don't know why that is, but I feel like you either are someone who like loves it and are like, I need it, or you're just kind of like me that's like, I like it as an eyeliner, but I don't really use it in a palette. I did get a little bit of fallout from that black. Luckily I put down some powder and I hope it works, or else this is gonna be a long day. And now we're gonna grab Flaming Hot again on a small brush, and I'm just going to blend this along the lash line. I did use Marc Jacobs eyeliner. So this little brush, this little guy is the JS12. I love this brush because it's so tiny and it's perfect for my eyes if you have a lot of trouble with like trying to blend this little areas. Like, this is a game changer. This is look number 1. I'm not going to go ahead and put on lashes or anything, just because I'm going to go right into the next look. But I actually really like the way this turned out. I love how vibrant Ranch is. I will say the only thing, like my pills, like I was saying, I don't think it's going to show up on every skin tone, but it's still, you know, it's not my favorite. Like, I like one cream shade type thing to blend things out, and then I'm kind of done. So I'm very hard to please. But it's an okay shadow. For lighter skin tones, I think you'll like it. I mean, I like my pinks. In terms of Flaming Hot, it was my first time using that. I did think it was going to be more red because it looks so red in the pan. But it really, I mean, if you pack it on a lot, it's still like that strawberry red. It's not like a red, which is okay because, you know, I have blood sugar, so I have a lot of reds in my collection. But if you were looking at it expecting it to be red, I think you're going to be a little bit like, oh, not what I thought. But I would wear this pretty much all the time. I feel like this is a pretty wearable look. But let's move on, because what's the T? Is scream my name. I think I'm going to lose all the T shades. Illuminati. What's the T? I'm gonna spill the tea. Okay, my eyes are turning red. That's just how it is in terms of me filming. But yeah, let's go in with what's the tea. You know, I was thinking about it the other day and I was just like, I don't even know. With makeup, it's so hard. We're all like, everybody has personal preferences, and it's like, we want something cohesive that's gonna look good on the eyes and blah, 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 blah. And then if it's too, you know, you just can't make anyone happy. You can't make me happy. I know that, because like part of me is always like, that's unwearable. And then I'm like, that definition is different to every single person. And then at the same time, you're like, I want something unique. So I feel like this palette, though, it definitely goes in the, like, airs in the more like, I can't think of the same exact color story I have in any other palette. Not that there's not similar shades, because we went over that in my last video. There are. But yeah, I don't know. What I was gonna say though, oh, I like this color. It's such a weird, like, I don't like grays, but it's got that like tingy of like blue. I don't know, I like it. We'll see how the look comes together though, you know, that's what we'll see. But I was really excited to use this shade. I'm gonna take it up nice and high. My dream of a wider lid space has not come true, guys, or I have not gotten taller. Just in case you are wondering, we watched on the Apple TV app. Do you guys like Jason Momoa, like from, I think that's how you say his name, from Aquaman? Like, I really like him. Like, I don't usually get attracted to guys that have long hair, but him, I'm just like, the show is called C, and it was really, really good. But yeah, every time he's on, I'm just like, ooh. Usually I'm like, guys with longer hair. I'm gonna dip into Diet Root Beer and take that into Zacres. I don't know why though, because I'm probably gonna cover that up, but just bear with me here. I just want to see how it blends into another like neutral color. I don't know if I like the way it mixes in with that, to be honest. Okay, we're gonna dip lightly into the black is what we're gonna do. We're gonna do that instead. I think that would go a little bit better with this type of shade. But yeah, anyways, I've never found guys with long hair attractive. Like, I cannot I hate my hair, and there's no way I would date a guy who has nicer hair than I do. Therefore, they were always off the table for me because I was like, I'm not competing with you. Like, my hair feels like a Brillo pad or pubes. Your hair probably feels like a freaking, you know, like the nicest thing ever. And I'm a big hair texture person. Like, I'm that person that like is always I'm always curling my hair. My hands are in my husband's. Like, I've been that way since I was little. Except for my sister. My sister Angelina was never nice to me. She was always like, you're creepy, get off. But I love to curl hair. Now that you know really weird things about me, I don't know what to say, guys. I don't know why it's all coming out, okay? Okay, I really like this look. I feel like I could go quite a few ways with this, where I kind of want to, I'm going to do a halo eye, even though I would rather not do a halo eye, just because I want to show you guys a few different looks, and I was like, I don't want to do the exact same thing. But I really like the black with this type of color. Like, it just goes well. It just does. All right, so we're going to take the Illuminati shade. And I'm going to go in the outer edge with it. I'm going to leave that middle space blank. And I think I'll go in with Diet Cola, since that's a really nice and bright shade. But yeah, aside from the Jason Momoa show, that one's called C. It has like Everyone in the World Has Gone Blind. I highly suggest it unless you're like very squeamish and you don't, you know, there's a lot of fight scene kind of stuff. I've just become numb to it. I've like now I watch whatever. Like there's nothing to me that's like, I used to be terrified of scary movies, and now I just had to adopt the fact that my husband loves scary movies, and now I'm pretty okay. I like them too. I still get scared and I have to sleep with a light on, or I have to watch something happy. Like, that's our deal. Like, I'm just like, okay, but we have to watch something happy after. And usually he's fine with that. So that's kind of where we're at with scary movies. But yeah, C is really good. And then we watched the morning show with Jennifer Aniston and Reese Witherspoon. I always forget about Reese Witherspoon. Like, I really like her, and I love the other show on HBO. But this one was really good too. So yeah, like all their shows. We haven't started the space show yet. Oh, I like the way this is turning out a lot. So I just took that Diet Cola shade. I am going to go back in with the green, but I actually really, really like this. All right, I'm going to go ahead and smoke out What's the Tea. Gosh, my eyes are so red. I'm sorry. So let's take What's the Tea underneath. I do kind of wish, like, I love the shade, like the dark green, like the Illuminati, but I kind of wish he would have kept that other green one that he ended up taking out of the palette, just because I feel like that Illuminati shade was so similar to the Alien palette that I honestly could have done without it, but that's just me. It's still a gorgeous shade. It's one of my favorite shades from the Alien palette. I just didn't need it in two palettes, you know what I mean? Because it's not like a shade I go and like wear often. Greeny shade is like my favorite out of like this What's the Tea shade is like my favorite out of the palette. I feel like it's definitely the most unique shade. And it actually goes a lot better than I thought it was. I was kind of like, how am I going to make this work? But I really like the way that that looks. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and pop Ranch into the waterline. I'm kind of glad I did this. Like the black definitely has a little bit of fallout, so just be careful when you're working with blacks. I definitely went in very, very light with it because it is such an intense black. So just make sure that you tap lightly into the pan. And then I think I just want a little bit more brightness to this look. Like I love the way it looks right now. But I think I'm going to take my fresh pencil from LA Girl. And just like right in the center, just do a little tiny bit. It's like a minty green. So I don't want it to be too intense. I just want a little bit of something different. All right, guys, so this is the finished look. I'm very not used to lip shades like this. I don't wear them often, but I love this Bite Beauty lipstick in Kale, and I felt like it went really well. So I was like, the outro, we can get a little crazy, you know? I wear this shade to like clean the house, and I don't generally leave the house in this shade often, but I figured today was a special day. For no other reason that I thought it looked good. But I kind of like to give my thoughts again, now that I've used the palette a few times, give you guys a little bit more information on what I think. So I hope you guys found this useful and got some inspiration and ideas from it. Let me know what looks you guys have created, your favorite shade of the palette, all that good stuff. But yeah, I am pretty impressed with it. Again, like, it's not the most obvious color choices, but now that I've been using it more and more, like, nothing has come out badly. Like, nothing that I've put on my eyes, I'm like, oh, no, that does not. I mean, maybe the green tea and the brown, they don't go together. But with the black, is good. So I'm still very happy with the palette. I'm going to continue to play with it. Let me know if there's any other looks you guys want to see with it. Don't forget to subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.